we are going to be taking a look at 10 great cologne fragrances for fall. So these are in no particular order. So I'm going to start with one of the newer releases, and that is Rayhan Valhalla. And this is their interpretation of by Kilian's Angel Share Paradise. This is a woody, slightly boozy, and slightly fruity fragrance. It opens up with boozy raspberry and dries down to this nice, woody, mossy scent. And it kind of has that Angel Share DNA in the background. This stuff smells really good, and it is a great choice for cooler weather. Next up, we are going to be taking a look at Latafa Liam, which is also known by some as Latafa Liam Grey. To me, this is one of the better Latafa fragrances that I have. It opens up with nice creamy woods along with black tea and fig. Has a nice woody and vanilla dry down. Overall, just a really good solid choice that I like to wear in the cooler weather. And this is their interpretation of BDK's Gris Charnel. The next fragrance we have is Olfactory Musicfest by Fragrance World, and this is their take on Jazz Club by Maison Margiela. This fragrance is supposed to help you envision what a jazz club would smell like. Think rum, wooden tables, tobacco, smoke in the air, maybe leather jackets. And this, and of course the original, do a really good job of inspiring you to think like that. This is essentially like a combo of tobacco, woods, with a little bit of smoke underneath it. It's more on the darker side, but overall, really love the way this stuff smells. Alright, this is Latafa's Chic Al Shuyukh Supreme. I probably butchered that name, but this is their version of the JPG Scandal. The JPG Scandal line, it's kind of a mix between like Scandal Absolute and Scandal Parfum. Essentially, it's a mix of citrus, woods, caramel, and some vanilla underneath. It's slightly sweet in the opening and dries down to a really nice, seductive caramel, vanilla, and woods style fragrance. Also, this is probably one of the cheapest on my list. I think I paid around $20 for this, so definitely not a bad pickup for the $20 price range. And one of the best performing fragrances I have on this list is Charuto Mysterious Tobacco by Pandora Scents, which is essentially Paris Corner. And this is their version of Carolina Herrera Mystery Tobacco. So if you like to wear tobacco fragrances in the fall, I really like this one because it has just a touch of sweetness in the opening with a really nice apricot note. Then it dries down into a heavy tobacco and patchouli scent with some wood. Overall, a very masculine scent that's got really good longevity. I get close to 12 hours out of this, and projection on this is also amazing. It would almost be impossible to have a clone list for the fall and not include a Parfum de Marly Altair dupe. And while Liquid Brune is probably one of the most accurate and most popular ones, so you definitely can't go wrong with that one. Personally, I like Afnan's Historic Sahara because the opening is a little bit sweeter, has a little bit more of a cinnamon and praline combination. Also, another one that I recently picked up that is starting to become one of my favorite Altair dupes, and that is Beramese Aga. This stuff is very similar to the Afnan version, but I do seem to be getting a lot more projection and longevity out of it, and it is also a little bit on the sweeter side in the opening. It doesn't have that kind of harsh opening that Altair has. And another classic clone fragrance for fall, and that is Latafa Khamrah Kawa. I like the Kawa version because it's a little bit darker, it's a little bit more dense because it has the added coffee note to it. So you still get kind of that boozy apple pie, cinnamon vibe out of it. It leans a little bit more masculine to me and a little bit richer and darker, which I like because it doesn't come off as sickly sweet. Of course, if you want the original, you can go for that. And of course, if you want one that has a little bit more fruits in it, then you can go with Latafa Khamrah Dukan. So while not a direct clone, this is very much in the style of by Kilian's Angel Share. Next up is another great fragrance I really like for the fall. It's probably the most versatile fragrance that I have on this list, and that is Afnan's Turathi Blue. and this is their version of Bulgari Tiger. This has a nice citrus grapefruit opening with a lot of spiciness. Then it dries down to a very warm and spicy fragrance. Overall, very versatile, but that warmth from the amber makes me really enjoy it just a touch more in cooler weather. So this is Latafa's Ameer Al Oud Intense Oud, and this is kind of like their version of Maison Margiela's Replica by the Fireplace. However, if you're looking for a really good one-to-one for that fragrance, I definitely wouldn't recommend this because it's not super close, but it's definitely in the same DNA or in the same vein. This fragrance is interesting because sometimes it comes off very strong and masculine and dark, and then sometimes kind of these sweet sugary notes pop out, which is what I really like about this fragrance. So it's kind of a mix of dark woody notes, vanilla, almost this kind of like sweet sugary smoky notes. So if you can imagine that you take a sugar cube and light it on fire, to me that's kind of one of the notes that you smell in the background. Overall, a really, really good fragrance, and it is very inexpensive. Perfect for fall weather. This is Latafa Qaa'ed Al Fursan Untamed, and this is their take on Versace Eros Najim. The opening has a really kind of like nice orange citrus, kind of sweet cinnamon, almost a caramel vibe to it. Dries down to a nice warm fragrance that also has some kind of like herbal and resin qualities to it. So you kind of get that sweet fruity orange opening, and anything with a little bit of cinnamon reminds me of the fall. And then it has that really great dry down for the cooler weather. Overall, a really good fragrance. All right guys, that's it. If you enjoy this type of content, do me a solid and hit that like and subscribe button.